Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. We are on chapter 2? Yeah, I think chapter 2. Yeah, I'm gonna look because I'm getting old. Yep, chapter 2, graphing lines. Lesson 4, the slope-intercept form. Below is the graph of a function, y equals x plus 3. Determine the slope by choosing any 2 points on the graph and finding the rise and the run. Oh, that's your warm-up. Pause the video and try it. Okay, I hope you did that. I'm going to pick these 2 points right here. And this one and this one. To get there, this is 0, 1, 2. I've already counted this point for my rise, which is 2. Now I'm going to turn right. 1, 2. My run, also 2. So my slope, 2 over 2, is equal to 1. So my slope, m equals 1. Remember, m is the symbol we use for slope. Okay, I'd like you to grab your highlighter. We're going to learn about the y-intercept today. So let's highlight this y-axis. And I always like to use yellow because yellow starts with y, y-axis, yellow axis. Kind of makes sense to me, but the y-intercept is where the graph of the line, now this is a graph. This stuff in the background, the little boxes, that's a grid or the coordinate plane. But I am looking at the graph of the line. That's how you would say that, graph of a line. And where it crosses, right here, and what is that? 1, 2, 3. This here is the y-intercept. The line intercepts the y-axis, y-intercept, and we use the letter B. And here it's B equals 3 because it's up 3. So I have m is 1 and b equals 3. All right, let's talk a little bit more about what the y-axis, what slope-intercept form is. Slope is the angle. Intercept is where the line intercepts the y-axis. So determine the slope of the line. So the slope of the line is the steepness of the line. And that's where I'm going to grab my highlighter again. Whenever I'm talking about the y-intercept, I am just going to highlight things like the y-axis. I'm even going to highlight this B, the y-intercept, because just to remind me, yellow, y is yellow, y-axis is yellow. Just keep it in my head that way. All right. And I highlight it first because after I write and then I highlight, I'll get ink on my highlighter. I don't like that. Where the line, actually the graph of the line, intercepts the y-axis. There's other words for intercept. Some people like to use crosses, where the line or graph crosses the y-axis. That's fine. So here, I have my slope is 3 and my y-intercept is -2. So that means slope is represented by the letter m, so m equals 3. Y-intercept is the letter b, -2. Now, the slope-intercept method says if y equals m x plus b. Now, x and y, those are the variables that represent the points on the graph. Now, earlier we talked about how some equations have infinitely many, oh goodness, it went out of my head, I apologize. We talked about how some equations have infinitely many solutions. Well, lines have infinitely many solutions. So there's lots of different x's and y's that will work in this equation. So I'm going to write down the equation in slope-intercept form. Slope is the m, intercept is the b. I'm not going to try to find a solution. I'm not looking to find the x's and the y's. So I'm just going to write the y and the x down. And I'm going to substitute 3 for m and -2 for b. And I'm going to write -2 as -2, because you know that plus -2 is the same as -2. Right, so that's my slope-intercept form. Y equals 3x minus 2. Right, next page. That's you try it. Pause the video and try the problems. Did you try those problems? Did you pause the video? If you didn't, now is a good time. All right. They're all going to be y equals something x plus or minus b. They're all y equals something x plus b. Y equals something x plus b. And they're all going to have the x and the y and the equal sign. But my job is to substitute the m and the b. So slope is m, y-intercept is b. So here's my m, and here's my b. So slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So I'm substituting the m and the b. Here m is 2, so y equals 2x, and b is 7, plus 7. So my equation is y equals 2x plus 7. Here, m is -1, and b is -3, so I'm going to write -3. Y equals -1x minus 3. You don't really need the 1 there. You could write it, I don't know why this is moving on me, I apologize. Y equals -x minus 3. Now, you know me, I would never mark this wrong, but if it's a multiple choice problem, that's going to be the multiple choice answer. You have to know that -1x and -x mean the same thing. All right. For this one, my slope is 0, my y-intercept is -5. Now, it's the slope times the variable x. 0 times x. What's 0 times anything? 0 times 2, 0. 0 times 7, 0. 0 times 34, 0. 0 times x is 0. So this is really 0 minus 5. What is 0 minus 5? I'm going to grab my calculator, and if I do 0 minus 5, I get -5. So here, it's just going to be y equals -5. Again, I would not mark that wrong, but that's what you would see on a multiple choice test. When you have 0 for your slope, this is a slope of 0. What does that look like? It looks like a straight line. The 0 slope is a straight horizontal line. Let's try some more problems. Rate of change. Rate of change is another word for slope. So that's m. M is -3. And the y-intercept is +0. Now, if I add anything to 0, 4 plus 0, 4. 5 plus 0, 5. -3x plus 0, -3x. So I just need y equals -3x. For this one, m is 2/3, b is 1. Y equals 2/3 x plus 1. Slope is 1/2. Y-intercept +0. Much like this one, I don't need to write it down, so it's just going to be y equals 1/2 x. Here we go. Y equals 1/3 x minus 4. Y equals mx plus b. M is 1/3. Slope is m, and it equals 1/3. B is y-intercept. B is -4. My y-intercept, b equals -4. I'm going to write it above it again. Y equals mx plus b. M, well, if they gave me m is 3. B is the y-intercept. B, and I have to take the sign in front of it. B is -2. Y equals mx plus b. M is -5, and b is not there. Well, what number represents something that's not there? That's nothing. What's nothing? 0. 0 is nothing, so I'm adding 0. So my b is 0. There's nothing there. All right. Pause the video and try problems 1 to 4 on the bottom. Did you pause the video? You're not going to learn math unless you try math. Pause that video right now. Do those problems. Well, I hope you did them. There's no way to learn math if you're not trying it. Above here, I'm going to write y equals mx plus b. M is -3. The y-intercept is b, and b is 4. Slope is m. Y equals mx plus b. M is 1/2. B is 4. Y equals mx plus b. M is 2. B is not there. When something is not there, you have to write in your own +0. B is 0. Y equals mx plus b. M is -2/3. Oh, slope is m, so I got to write that as m. B is 4. Y equals mx plus b. Rate of change is another word for slope, which is m, and y-intercept is b, and I am missing both my m and my b. Well, how many x's do I have? I have 1 x. How many b's do I have? 0. So y equals 1x plus 0. M equals 1, and b equals 0. I have the opposite problem on this one. There's no x. So y equals mx plus b. Y equals, there's 0 x's in this problem. So my m is 0. My b is -6. Now, a lot of people think it's easier when you have a graph to see what we're doing, and I am one of those people. So let's start looking at some graphs on the next page. Here we go. Starting at the top. Slope-intercept. The y-intercept of a graph is where the what? Let's look back. What do we have back here? The line intercepts the y-axis. The y-intercept of a graph is where the line crosses or intercepts the y-axis. And to make it more clear, I'm going to highlight the y-axis. And you see right there where it crossed, that's going to be my b. I always make it into a b because it makes it easier for me to remember that b equals, what is this, 1, 1. Now the slope here is negative. I don't know, I'm not gonna do that. It's not what I'm working on. So, identify the y-intercepts on the graphs below. That's your job. Let's highlight all those y-intercepts, all the y-axes, and you find where they intercept. Here's the y, here's the y, and my y, here's my y. Now, it's kind of hard to see, but this is the line that they're talking about right here. Make it a little easier and put bigger arrows because I like arrows. Here we go. That's the line. Over here, also kind of difficult to see, but this is the line. What do you notice? Well, this line is going through -1. So I'm going to circle where it crosses and make that my B, and I get B equals -1. This one doesn't cross at all. I guess the B is going to be, no, it's not. Don't say it because it's not true. It doesn't cross the line. The line does not intercept the y-axis. It's not 0, it's non-existent, but it's not 0 because 0 is a point where they intercept. Right here, that's the 0. That's B equals 0 because it intercepts there at point 0. For this one, we're intercepting up here, and B equals 4. The y doesn't intercept the line. The y intercepts at -1. That's where B is 0. That's where the y intercepts the line at 0. Right. Let's talk a little more. Identify the y-intercept. Oh, well, first I'm going to highlight that. Here's my y. Here's where it intercepts. Right there at 0. My y intercepts at 0, so B equals 0. Rise and run. Oh, I can do that. Here's a point, and I know it intercepts here, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My rise is 5. Turn left. 1, 2, 3. My run is 3. Rise over run. 5 over 3. M equals 5/3. No, it doesn't, Bono. I made a left turn. It's -3. It's -3. So M equals -5/3. I'm just going to rewrite that because that doesn't look right. It's negative. It's a negative slope. I want it to look very negative. -5/3. There we go. That's better. I feel better. So M is -5/3. O, B is 0. So y equals mx plus b. Y equals -5/3 x. And I'm not even going to write +0 because it's not necessary. Let's do a couple of practice problems. Well, I'm going to highlight my y. Actually, I'm going to highlight both my y's since I'm here and they're right together. And I'm going to put my highlighter away because I don't need it anymore. All right. Here's where the line crosses at B, and that equals 2. So my y-intercept, B equals 2. The slope, I'll pick a point here. There's a bunch of points, but I only need 2. Rise, 1, 2, 3. Run 1. 3 over 1 is 3. 3 over 1. M equals 3. My equation, y equals mx plus b. So the m is 3 plus 2. Oh, I almost forgot my x. Don't do that. I would totally be wrong if I forgot my x. Y equals 3x plus 2. So my equation, y equals 3x plus 2. Down here, here's where it is crossing, right there. So my b is -1. So y-intercept b equals -1. Now I can take any 2 points. It does not rise, it runs 2. 0 rise over 2. Put that in a calculator. 0 over 2, and you'll see it comes out to 0. So my slope, m equals 0. So writing it as y equals 0x minus 1. But 0 times x is 0, so y equals 0 minus 1. 0 minus 1 is -1, so y equals -1. What that really means is, no matter what my x value, my y is -1. X is 1, y is -1. X is 2, y is -1. X is 3, y is -1. X is 4, y is -1. So going over and down, x and y, no matter what x is, y is -1. All right, good luck. You have pages 22 and 23 for homework. See you soon.